So yes, you would have seen that Champions League draw, which, compared to the other Champions League draws, is a lot more favourable, right? Welcome back to FCOS in Football Manager 2018. I'm Ed. You should know that by now, really. And it's the final season at FCOS. So, first things first, yes, Champions League. We've drawn a Celtic, Besiktas and Chelsea, which I'm not going to say is favourable because we've mucked up a lot in Europe during our time at OS, but this is our best opportunity to get out of the Champions League group. Although in our last season, considering I want to win something, maybe we don't want to, but we'll just take what we can get at this stage. In terms of the league, we've been going alright. We also won the JC Schall, Johan, and my water bottle's going crazy. The Johan Cruyff Trophy, basically the Champions League Community Shield in the Netherlands, so made hard work of it, but we won 2-1, last minute goal from Nicolas Zuniga there. In the league it's 4 from 5, so we smashed Ajax 6-2 on the first game of the season. There's going to be some names I'm going to have to go over, but the ones you know, Zuniga and Marta scored. Ferris scored, but you probably don't remember him. We then lost 2-1 to PSV, where we looked fine, but we just didn't really get any good opportunities. Nicolas Zuniga getting one in the last minute to pull one back, but it wasn't enough. And then 3 wins on the bounce and 3 clean sheets as well. So 3-0 against Sparta, 3-0 against AZ, 4-0 against PEC Zvol. Some of the names on the score sheets there: Zuniga with a hat-trick, Zuniga with 2 and Prazak with 1, and Zuniga, Romero and Marta. But today we play Celtic, and I'm not going to bring you the strange team in the cup first round. They're an absolutely nobody team. We played them a few seasons ago, actually, won 5-0 I think. I seem to recall, what was the guy's name? The Cape Verdean bloke scored 4 or 5 goals in it. He never came to anything, bless him. So in terms of league standing, we are top, 4 from 5 wins, so it's early days, but 13 goal difference, already ahead of Heerenveen and VVV by 2 points. So looking good, and Zuniga 8 goals from 5 games and a 9.06 average rating. Something you might be thinking though is, where's Gretzen's name appearing? Well, I've got news. So it's another ridiculous summer in OS where we've signed so many players. Again, I'm now just considering the last couple of seasons. I know I go on about signing too many youngsters, but because we're looking to the future for OS, I want to make sure they're not completely pilfered by other teams. So here we go. So we're going to look at the outs first. We've got a few loans out. So Fred Franken, Choi Min Kyu, Rain Van Boxtel, Riley Backboard, who's still here ridiculously at 28 years old. And it's unfiltered itself. And Jaron Latuhiro, all going out on loan for nothing. And then we've got a load of names here going out for fees. I'm going to quickly calculate in my head now. There's about £1.6 million per month coming in loan fees, I think, by looking at it. Some of the bigger names in there being Thomas Patrick, our young Dutch striker who's gone on loan to Köln. So the deal with all these guys is they're very good, a lot of them, especially ones that are fee paying, obviously. And chances are they're going somewhere with better training facilities. I'll cover that in a minute. And they're also paying, and they're also going to be first team regulars, most of them. There's a couple of rotations, but it's worth it for some of the teams they've gotten to. I mean, Cologne, who I think have been perennial nearly men in the Europa League in this save the last couple of seasons. Porto, yeah, it's worth it. Braga. But yeah, Thomas Patrick's gone on loan. Martin Almiron, he used to be a wonder kid, Uruguayan centre attacking mid, he's gone on loan. A couple of names I don't completely recognise there, to be honest, ridiculously. But Cabrera's gone on loan, Kevin de Koning, Dutch centre back, Metin Karacha, Dutch centre forward, who's unfortunately broken his leg or something, so he's out for about 5 months, so he's probably done. Juan Pablo Leiva, our Chilean goalkeeper who's been on loan previously. Yeah, it's a big mishmash of players, but a lot of Dutch players in there, a lot going to teams at a good level as well, and really good training facilities, so I'm happy. And then we cover the actual money transfers out. So we go from the bottom, so a few nobodies going for very little, to be completely honest. Our backup from last season, Douglas Bergman, has gone out for 500k. Disappointed to only get 500. We spent 2 million on him last summer, and that we overpaid massively. I just didn't go around scouting for a backup keeper properly, and we paid the price. And then a load of these players have gone out for fees and a future percentage of sales. So I think with all of these, I'll point out if there are any that aren't off the top of my head. But Roivers, Ruiz, Buchenkamp, unfortunately all Dutch, which is a shame to see him go, but hey ho. Vincek, Gutjes, also Dutch. All those guys have gone out for all those fees, so what's that in total? About 4 million or so, plus 50% of future sale. Sasha Vux has gone out for a flat 1.9 to Anderlecht. He was just a random centre mid that we signed up for free, and we're going to make money from him one day, hopefully, possibly. But the two big ones, also 50% of future sales. Matusek has gone to Napoli for £10 million. He's already valued at 13. I wanted to get more for him because he's valued at about 4, but he was eager to leave and I was eager to cash in. I think he wanted quite a large contract next time around as well. He wanted about 29 from us, and for us that's massive. I think our top earner's on about 30, I think it's Ramiro. But he's a lot better than Matusek is, and he was slowing down in his improvement, like his attributes, so I thought it was worthwhile cashing in anyway. And then the big one, Brecky Gretarsson has gone to Valencia. He was making a fuss about wanting to leave potentially, then said he was happy to stay, but by that point I offered him out, and I managed to get Valencia up to £25 million for Brecky Gretarsson, plus 50% of a future sale. I'm not sure the future sale will bring much, but they're only willing to go to 30 odd without it, so I thought it was worth the risk considering he's valued at 20 odd. He's first team, he's on 175k a week, so I mean I think he's very good, and he's still got a tiny bit of growth left, so you never know, he might get sold for decent money to like one of the big boys, and at that point we could be in for another windfall, not that I'll see it. And that leaves us with loans in. Again, like I normally do, I'll probably go through just the team we have today and I'll just introduce you as we go. But something to note is we signed a load of players on loan, defenders really, apart from Jose Gray, who's a winger, and we're lacking in the fullback position heavily, so I've brought in a few on loan, I've terminated one or two, and it is what it is. In the Champions League I've mucked up, we'll cover that in a second as well. Obviously we dealt with some future transfers back in January with the contracts running out, so Thiago Reis, Julio Cesar and Joe Sadler all coming in for free, as well as Mario Reyes, who's a freebie. You'll see these guys in a second. In fact, I'll go look at some other things now and then show you them. Finance is looking disgustingly good, aided by our £30 million net gain in the transfer window. So 86 million. Unfortunately, it hasn't brought forward our youth facilities or training facilities. The training facilities are now not on there, which is worrying, but as far as I'm aware, they're still ongoing. So both the training and youth facilities were due to be, planning completed on the 14th of the 10th, 2026, which is this year, but that's now moved. I don't know what's gone on there, but maybe we can't improve our training facilities for some weird reason. That'd be a disaster. Have just seen that Chelsea beat Besiktas 3-0 in the first game of the group, so that's interesting. Yeah, one of the problems we got is because we've loaned out so many players, we couldn't register that many people for our Champions League squad, because you can only under 21s go free obviously, and then you have to have 8 trained at the club between 15 and 21. They have to be there 3 years, but most of those guys are out on loan at the moment, and then like under 21s are free, and we just don't have too many of them hanging around right now, so we're actually quite stretched in our Champions League squad. I foolishly decided to drop a right back out the squad to make room, and obviously they are currently injured, so good on me. But the team for today is Julio Cesar in goal. We got Suzini, Munoz, Borkosian and Krizek at the back, Reinaldo and Prazak in the middle, Gray and Romero on the wings, and Buzek and Zuniga up front. So obviously we're having an issue at right back, so we're playing Florian Suzini there, who's a full-back by trade, 2.5 star current, 3.5 star potential, pretty solid left full-back basically, but having played right back today unfortunately, on loan from Monaco, paying 4.2 a week, it's a win-win, right? Reinaldo in defensive mid is a new name, and my word, 21 years old, Brazilian, will be 22 in March, we've got a few months yet, current ability 4, potential 5 stars, tackling, technique, passing, all orange, which I love, a load of nice yellows there. The only ones that aren't above 10 are penalty taking, long throws and finishing, so I'm pretty happy. He wants to be a deep line playmaker, I'm happy to play him there. He's also about 6'3", so that's handy. Great mentals as well. Decisions, composure, both good. Determination's great. He's resolute, by the way. Positioning 16, vision 18, and then his physicals are pretty good as well. Pretty quick, pretty strong, good stamina. So yeah, I'm really happy with him. So he cost 11.75 from Flamengo, and we don't have anything in terms of minimum fee release clauses, which is crazy. He's got a wage of 30,000, which will go up to 36.5 after 5 caps. I don't know if he'll get them here. I guess we'll see. But option extension of a year, so he's potentially down for 5.5 seasons yet. So yeah, happy days with him. He's superb. Jose Gray is a winger on loan from Arsenal. So this is one thing I said about the wingers last season. I think Rahak's still here because he got injured, so I couldn't loan him out. Rahak is great, and his value has shot up, and he's awesome. But his stats aren't as good as this, and we had this with McCluskey as well. McCluskey's stats were a lot better, and we couldn't get him. Or attributes were a lot better, but his stats were terrible. We couldn't get him working, and I thought I'd go for a bit more of a European approach. Someone fast, good work rate, dribbling could be a bit better, but crossing is great, and he's pretty solid across the board. So effectively, I think he's an improvement on Rahak. Whether or not he's better than him long term, I don't know, but I'm only worried about this season. As long as Rahak's around for a few years, I'm happy. The last name in the lineup who is new is someone, you don't know it probably, but you've seen him before. It's Lukas Buzek, a Czech 22-year-old striker, 3.5 star current and potential ability. Apparently he's maxed out. He's had a bad leg break at one point in his career. But I tried to sign him about 3 seasons ago. He didn't have a contract at Slavia Prague, and he just wouldn't sign for me. He went to Besiktas, and then he wanted something like 80 grand a week. When I could eventually try and sign for about 8 million. He signed a new contract with a new release clause of 13.25, but so far been worth it. 1 goal and 5 assists in 4 appearances, so more goals would be nice, but assists are superb. 7.82 average. You look at it, dribbling, finishing both 17, work rate 15, off the ball 18, some really nice physicals. There's only really speed that lets him down, but he's about 6'1", 6'2", 6'1" really, but everything else is really good. So I'd say he's kind of like Gretterson, but an upgrade. Although I did lie about wages early, he's on 60 grand a week, so he's easily our top earner, but he's only signed on for 3 seasons as well, but that's future OS manager's problem. And on the bench, we got a few familiar names. We've got a load of unregistered there, so I'll have to go through those at some point in the future. We've got Frank Bakker, the goalie, who came through our youth system actually. He's improving quite well, but he's 20, unfortunately, so he's probably not going to make it, but yeah, fine. Edgar Ferris, who signed on a couple of seasons ago, back in 2023-2024 season. I think he came in January. We've loaned him out a few times, got his value back in loan fees, and they've all paid his wages as well, so he's paid for himself, and he's improved. He's a Uruguayan 21-year-old centre-back. Be 22 in January, 3-star current, 4.5-star potential, just really solid upgrade on our previous backups. And then the old faces, Marta, Verheyen, Burnett on the bench, Suarez, who was on loan at Heracles last season, who banged in the goals. I remember pointing him out. He's staying this season just for some backup in the striking role. And then we've also got Luka Karavic, who's a left winger Serbian, signed up for 1.7 million. 18 years old, just turned 18, good work rate, crossing, dribbling, first touch technique, speed's good, all that stuff. He's a realist. So he's kind of like the Rahak of the other wing, but I think he's actually at a better starting position. Anyway, after that mass update, we are going to get into the game. I'm not enjoying having to play a left back at right back, but you do what you have to, and that's it really. Celtic, let's see if they've got anyone familiar. Daniel Bentley in goal, used to play goalkeeper for Southend, went to Brentford, Aston Villa, so he's pretty good. Rob Holding's there at centre-back, now 30 years old, but pretty good, valued at 13 odd million. Golovin is in centre-mid, gosh. Some of these guys will be more familiar to other Football Manager players, but I can see, is that Jeremy Boga, something like that? Yeah, on the bench, so he's at Chelsea in real life, might have gone now. Near Bitton is still there, still racking up the appearances, 376 in the league, from fair play to him. And the final name I recognise is Sean Kelly, who started with, where did he start, Institute or something like that? Institute, yeah, there you go. That wasn't pre-planned at all, that's knowledge. Came to us for 400k in the Jupiler, Had 2 great seasons, left for Gladbach for 5 odd million. We had the chance to sign him up when Celtic did, but I didn't want to pay 30 odd K for someone at that point, whereas now we got someone on 60. But I mean, I love him and I miss him, but I mean, Zuniga and Buzek are both better. But Celtic themselves, just to carry on babbling and make this episode incredibly long, they've won the league in all but one season in my save, and that season it was won by Hibernian. And as we know, they're going quite well in Europe, so it's helped them out massively, I guess. Highlight starts from a strange hoofball. Ronaldo picks up in the middle, gives it to Prazak, who sprays it wide beautifully for Gray, who doesn't take on his man, but puts in a great cross for Buzek, I don't know, but hits the bar from close in. Just a bit, it was a long ball, so he did well to get his head on it, but a shame not to go 1-0 up. Something to note, obviously, we normally have Verheyen in centre attacking, but we've got Prazak there this season. It started really well so far. I'm just trying to rotate the team pretty much every game, keep everyone fresh, and it seems to be working so far. No complaints at all. Ronaldo to Romero on the edge of the box, can't quite find the through ball to Zuniga, who gets absolutely hammered, but it's not a free kick, and Celtic try and bring it away, but Munoz cleans up nicely. Krizak down the left side. So obviously we're a lot stronger down our left at the moment due to actually having players in correct positions, but it looks like our left back is doing well in the right side. But Romero, I mean, what corner? Jose Gray is on it. Munoz is at the front post, drops a Boghossian, and Boghossian should be scoring from there. So I'm just keep reaching for my drink, it's real hot. Throw in to Celtic, Golovin heads it back to whoever took the throw in. Hopefully we can get out. Ronaldo with the header, Prazak is there, and there are a few runners now. Buzek picks it up, back to Prazak. Zuniga's completely free in the middle, gets found and puts it into the back of the net. He's so clinical, it's ridiculous. I bloody love him. It's so important as well to win. I mean, Chelsea we're going to assume we're not going to beat, but Celtic and Besiktas, without knowing how good they actually are, because I haven't really investigated their teams properly, I feel like we can, maybe not should, I think we're probably quite even, but I think our score gets underrated quite a lot. Don't get complacent. Consider if we can win, if we can start unbeaten against them, we should go through. I mean, that's assuming we don't get draws against them, and that's it. If we picked up 4 points from each set of fixtures, then we've got a real good chance of going through. But Celtic clear that. Sorry, I had to have a little cut because the water is catching up with me. Suzini picks it up with loads of time at the back. It's like we've let them come onto us a bit, which I don't mind because the long ball goes forward into space. Oh, and they are dicing with the devil at the back there. The pass back wasn't great, the kick out wasn't great, but they are getting away with it. They spread it wide on the left, and then there's a through ball, but Boghossian cleans it up, which is nice, and no repeats of the cup final shenanigans from last season. Julio Cesar. Oh. I mean, that's kind of worse. Julio Cesar gives it to Boghossian, whose touch is woeful, and Billy Lang, assisted by Daniel Bentley apparently. Billy Lang puts it in, and we're 1-1 with Celtic. Lots of strange starting highlights these days. You know it's going to come to something else though, which is nice. Ronaldo in the middle, about 45 yards out. Zuniga tries to find Buzek and fails, and Lang gets on it. And between Ronaldo and Munoz, they mess up retaining possession. We are pressing quite high here. Gray probably should have cut that out. But Celtic keeping a hold of it, and I can see a couple of guys there in the middle, and if they get a long ball, they could give us a bit of bother, but fortunately we come away with it. Prazak, nice back heel to Zuniga, to Buzek. Romero's on the overlap, he doesn't want it though. Oh, Ronaldo, Romero, go on now. Romero to Prazak, to Gray. Gray, get it in the mixer, mate. He does. Romero hits the bar and follows up. Yes, come on. Yes. 2-1 up against Celtic. I never thought I'd be that happy about this. Oh my word. We moved into the stadium, by the way. I think it's called the new Oss Stadium, FC Oss Stadium, 20,000 capacity. We're yet to sell it out. This might be a sellout. 24 I think that might be a sellout as we go 3-1 up, and I wasn't paying any attention. So yeah, that's nice. I had a friendly against AC Milan to open it. We won. It was fine. I don't really watch the friendlies. So Suzini with the throw, gives it to Buzek with a strange pass, but I like it. Into Jose Gray, who just turns his man, across it to the back stick. Romero's massive and just heads it in. Yeah, Ramiro he's dirty good. Free kick on the edge, Buzek steps up and hits the wall. Big challenge comes in, but unfortunately not a penalty, and taking so much time, and it worries me. Munoz at the back, gives it to Julio Cesar. There's no pressure. Oh, here comes some pressure now. Playing it around at the back nicely. Ramiro has got loads of room on the left-hand side. Plays it through for Zuniga. Buzek is moving into position. And there's the header, and there's the goal. The front two combine yet again. Zuniga and Buzek, whatever you want to call him. I love them so much. And it's sad that Michael Marta's being left out the side. But these guys are a complete step, or even 2 steps above what he is. Definitely a step above Greteson as well. The fact we got 25 million for Greteson and future fee is crazy. With just under 25 minutes left, I'm going to make some changes. Ronaldo can come off for Burnett. Prazak can come off for Verheyen. Give him some game time. I need to start him in games as well as just bring him off the bench. And then we are actually going to bring on Gonzalo Suarez for Buzek. Marta's come off the bench a little bit because I love him so much. And he scored a few goals as you've seen, but I really want to get Suarez off the mark for us, but I don't think it'll be this game at this rate. But Sean Kelly is on as the highlight begins, and it starts with Sean Kelly being dispossessed by Bogosian. It's like Os past versus present, and present is definitely coming out on top. Zuniga does his man, goes for goal from about 20 yards out, and unfortunately just over the bar. Throwing on the left, Krizek. Zuniga's in a ton of room. Why he's so far back, I don't know. But Burnett now, back to Krizek. We're just toying with Celtic at this stage. Verheyen is there. Verheyen's got a job on to get back into the starting 11 this season. He's amazing, and his stats have been so good for years. But again, I feel like we are taking the right steps now. Having Prazak in that centre mid attack position, he's better. He's better than Verheyen is. Regardless for how good Verheyen has been, he's a better player, and if he plays to his potential, he's fine. The one thing I'm annoyed about is the training facilities disappearing for now, but being delayed by yet another year, because it just means a lot of these wonder kids aren't going to really improve through training, which is unfortunate. We're playing at a higher level. We look like we're going to be at a higher level in the very near future as well. We beat Celtic 4-1 in our first game of Champions League this season. That sets us up really nicely for the rest of the group, really. Positive. Can we go all the way? Probably not, but let's pretend we can. So Malky Mackay is disappointed at the humbling defeat. So he's been at Celtic. He's pretty new actually, but he's been Cardiff manager yet again. Bournemouth, Hibernian, St Johnstone. So he's had a bit of a rough time, but that's simple. We received 1.3 million for winning. Ramiro was on form. And the Czech Republic manager was checking out 3 of our players for his squad. So that is kind of that, to be honest, for now. I don't want to be... I mean, as much as it's a big season as our last season, I'm also not going to hang around too much. I think the game I will be bringing you next, it will probably be... I want to bring you some kind of double. We need to see some league action this season. So it'll be Chelsea and someone. And then following that will probably be... Well, it'll probably be one of the Chelseas and so on. I'll see how the Champions League group is looking. But we will see Besiktas. We might see Celtic again. We'll just see how it's progressing. It might be 3 games in the Champions League. It might be 4, you see. But we'll include some league action. And then obviously we should have some cup stuff going on later in the season, assuming we're still in it. But for now, that is the end of the episode. So if you've enjoyed that, please do like and subscribe. Feel free to comment if you've got any thoughts. But yeah, the last season in FCOS I think has started off pretty well. So let's hope it carries on. Thank you very much for watching.